Hello, my name is Andy Peterson, Village Manager with the Village of Bayside. I'd like to provide you today with an update on the status of the Bayside Municipal Water Project, the voluntary water project that's scheduled to take place in 2015. This is the latest update as of December 10th, 2014. As you will see during the course of this presentation, what started out as a small, relatively isolated project has become a much larger project. Over the course of this process, the association has not only distributed a interest survey to determine how many people were actually interested in connecting to municipal water voluntarily. We've had 6 sign-up deadlines. 22 public meetings have been held. The association has mailed out 1 village-wide mailing to all residents. They've also had a mailing to all of the strong routes that were previously indicated on maps. And then they also sent out 1 mailing to people who were not signed up in the association area to ask the question, are you or are you not interested in this voluntary project? There's, as many of you know, there's also been numerous electronic and email notifications regarding the status of this project. The composition of the association as it exists today, there are 544 current association members, and that's broken down by the number of properties that have signed on for participation in this project. Of that, 490 of the association members are included in the 2015 project area, which that 490 represents approximately 90% of the association members. In total, there's approximately 656 homes that can be served in the project area that would bring water to those areas in the village in 2015. On the screen, you will see a map that is probably most of you are very familiar with. This map is currently on the village website and can be viewed in greater detail on the website. Looking at the map, the properties in gray are the areas of the village that are already connected to municipal water. The properties in the green color are the 2015 project participants. That represents the 490. The properties in the almond color are those that are not signed up but could potentially sign up in the 2015 project, as they are on the routes that will be served in 2015. The yellow properties are the properties that have signed up for the association. However, there is not enough interest on those particular roads to be included in the 2015 project. The black lines throughout the map also represent the areas where mains would be run down those particular streets. And then in blue, you'll see the mains, the water mains that are already built and run throughout the village of Bayside. When we look at the overall status of water in Bayside, currently 40% of the homes in Bayside are served by municipal water. When we add to that not only the number of homes that are currently served, but those that are signed up for the 2015 project, 69% of the Bayside homes will be served by municipal water. When we look at the overall village and determine how many homes have access to water, that number represents 86% of the homes will have access to water after the 2015 project is completed. Previous maps have indicated that streets and routes are either strong, medium, and low. What has changed over time is that as the engineers have continued to develop the plans and specifications, those are now classified into whether or not a street is in the 2015 project or not. The factors that determine whether or not the street is included include the density or the distance between homes. The shorter the distance between the homes, the more advantageous that is from a cost perspective. That also includes the length of the water main for the street and the number of hydrants, valves, and other infrastructure that needs to be included. Other factors that include the type of construction that needs to be done, whether it's an underground directional bore versus an open cut excavation, can impact price and whether or not a street can be included. Restoration is also a factor. One of the most important factors, obviously, is the number of signups. The more signups on a road, the more likely it is that a street will be included, but it also needs to be tied into conjunction with the other factors I've discussed. The engineers are also looking at the current utilities and infrastructure in the right-of-way to determine logistically how feasible it is to have water main go down a particular street. So with all of this said, what do you need to do now? If you want water and have already joined the association, the one thing you need to do is decide whether or not you would like to prepay or finance your portion of the project by April 1. We will have more information that'll be forthcoming in the middle of February to help you make that decision. If you haven't joined the association but want to be part of the 2015 project, you need to check to make sure your home is in the project area. If it is in the project area, you need to review the association documents, complete the contact information form, the certification of formation document, as well as complete the waiver and consent of special assessment form, and bring a $300 check made payable to the Bayside Municipal Water Project number 1. To be included in that project. That should be done as soon as possible. The earlier the better, but no later than April 1st of 2015. All of these documents are available on the village website, or if you want to stop into Village Hall, we'd be more than happy to assist you with that as well. So with all of this information that I've gone through in approximately the last 20 minutes, what are the most important things to remember? First, 656 homes can potentially be served by this project. Out of the currently 656 properties that can be served, 490 or 75% are currently participating in the project. At the end of this project, over 86% of the Bayside homes will have access to municipal water. The engineer's estimated project cost is $6,465,810. The current projected assessment is estimated at approximately $680 per year in principal, or over a 20-year period, $13,900. That is based on 20-year financing. I must reiterate that that is for the principal cost, and additional finance and interest charges will be applicable and determined in the early part of 2015. The association is currently soliciting bids from companies to install private laterals to achieve the economies of scale as indicated in the presentation, and we should have that information and be able to distribute that in the early part of 2015 as well. And finally, just touching on the B-bond financing that will be available. To reiterate, it requires a maximum not to exceed special assessment number, which I mentioned and is indicated above. If the cost exceeds that maximum assessment, the project will need to be rebid and start over. As part of that financing, you'll be able to amortize your payments over 20 years, and importantly, your first payment will not be due until January 31st of 2017.